When a group of astronauts sets off into the infinite reaches of space to discover an alien planet, they encounter massive artifacts that have appeared on hundreds of planets, including Earth. These artifacts are portals where space-time behaves differently. To unravel the mystery, scientists must visit many different planets. This video contains the first complete season of this thrilling sci-fi series packed with space adventures. Let's dive into the story. The story begins with a huge alien ship, unlike anything humans have ever seen. People are confused and amazed by it because this marks the first contact between humans and aliens. Should humans be excited to learn that they are not alone in the universe? Or should they be afraid that the aliens might want to take over Earth? Now, this alien ship lands on Earth and begins constructing a strange crystal artifact. Despite numerous attempts, all efforts to communicate with the artifact fail. A NASA scientist named Eric discovers that this structure is not just any object, but functions as a large antenna, sending signals to Pykenix, a distant planet. Upon learning this, NASA assembles a team of astronauts to travel to this alien planet and uncover who these extraterrestrial beings are and whether they pose a threat to Earth. Eric's wife, Nico, is chosen to lead the mission. A month into the mission, the ship's AI robot, William, wakes Nico from cryosleep with troubling news. William has miscalculated the route to Pykenix, and a large amount of dark matter lies in their path. If they maintain their current speed, the ship could be severely damaged. However, if they slow down, it will add 7 more months to their journey. During this extended time, the status of the alien artifact on Earth remains uncertain. Nico awakens the entire team from cryosleep to discuss the new plan. They conclude that they can use the slingshot technique, leveraging the gravity of a massive star named Sirius to navigate through the dark matter. Nico agrees to this plan, but during its execution, the ship starts sustaining significant damage. Reluctantly, Nico decides to halt the maneuver midway and reduce the ship's speed, opting for the longer and safer route. This decision adds 7 more months to their journey. Ian, the vice leader of the ship, who was initially the main leader, becomes furious with Nico. He argues that they need to take such risks because there is no telling what the alien artifact on Earth might do in their absence. Some crew members support Ian, and he gains enough backing to call for a revote for the leadership position. Ian wins the vote easily, becoming the new leader of the ship. From now on, his decisions will guide their mission. Under Ian's orders, Nico is put back into cryosleep. Ian tells the dissenting crew members that if they don't agree with his plan, he will also put them into cryosleep and replace them with other members who can do their work. Determined to follow his plan, Ian attempts to use Sirius's gravity to propel the ship forward again. However, the ship cannot withstand the pressure, and things start spiraling out of control. Seeing the ship on the brink of destruction, the chief engineer, August, wakes Nico from cryosleep. Nico quickly takes charge, devising a new plan to save the ship. Using her intelligence and quick thinking, she successfully prevents the ship from being destroyed, though it suffers significant damage. Nico reclaims her position as leader and addresses the crew. She emphasizes that they were all on the verge of dying due to Ian's reckless decision, which would have ended their mission and dashed the hopes of everyone on Earth. Nico asserts that, despite taking longer, their best chance of success lies in taking the safer route. Afterwards, all the crew members start repairing the ship together. Ian, feeling jealous and resentful of Nico's return to leadership, considers killing her while they work. Nico, sensing Ian's intentions, defends herself by kicking him. In the struggle, Ian is accidentally electrocuted and killed. Although Nico feels bad about his death, she recognizes that they have bigger problems to address. The ship has lost communication with Earth's base, and even more critically, it is leaking oxygen due to the damage. They only have a few hours of breathable air left. Nico and the crew immediately start looking for a solution to the oxygen problem. After extensive research, they discover a potential solution. A planet in their path has a large amount of hydrogen and oxygen gas. Without wasting any time, they set course for this planet, hoping to replenish their oxygen supply and ensure their survival. After reaching the planet, they awaken another pilot, Cass, from cryosleep to pilot the shuttle for landing. Their mission requires them to venture into the caves of the planet to collect crystals that can be used to extract oxygen for the ship. A team of 5 astronauts lands on the planet from the shuttle, with Oliver and August tasked with collecting crystals in the caves, while Javier and Bernie work on repairing the shuttle from outside to ensure a smooth takeoff. Bernie, being a microbiologist, is curious about the planet and takes soil samples for further research. Meanwhile, Oliver and August successfully gather a significant amount of crystals. However, as the planet's moon passes close by, strong storms begin to batter the surface. Despite the adverse conditions, all 5 astronauts manage to leave the planet safely, with the crystals in tow. Upon their return to the ship, the crew encounters a new problem. One of their members suddenly falls seriously ill. As they investigate, they realize that more crew members begin exhibiting different symptoms. With their communication with Earth already severed, they face the challenge of both fixing their communication system and understanding the cause of their illness. To investigate further, they awaken astrobiologist Julian from cryosleep. Julian quickly identifies the cause of the illness as a boron-based virus present in the soil samples collected from the planet they visited. Because the human body is adapted to Earth's environment, it lacks immunity to bacteria from other planets. As a result, the virus disrupts the crew members' nervous systems. Nico's condition worsens, and Julian determines that the virus is airborne, meaning that everyone on the ship, except those in cryosleep chambers, has been affected. As the crew grapples with the horrifying revelation of a crew member's body exploding and releasing an unknown creature, they realize the gravity of their situation. To prevent the virus from spreading further and jeopardizing humanity, they must make a sacrifice. The crew decides that those who are awake must jump into space immediately, sacrificing themselves to contain the virus. With determination, Nico and the entire crew prepare to jump into space from the escape pods, knowing that it's their only chance to save humanity and ensure the success of their mission. Meanwhile, Julian and Bernie continue their search for a cure for the virus. Julian attempts to administer an antidote to himself, but it proves ineffective. Reluctantly, Bernie is forced to eject Julian into space to prevent further contamination. However, just as the crew is about to jump into space, Bernie discovers that the virus cannot withstand gamma radiation. In a last-minute revelation, Bernie stops the crew and reveals that they can be cured. With renewed hope, Nico and the crew decide to head towards the star Sirius, where they can expose themselves and the ship to gamma radiation to sanitize and cure themselves of the virus. As Eric continues his efforts to communicate with the alien artifact from Earth, he receives a response in the form of a musical sound. However, despite his best efforts, Eric struggles to decode the message contained within the sound. After a few days, Eric encounters an online reporter named Harper, who expresses interest in the alien sound message. Initially hesitant, Eric realizes that no scientist at NASA has been successful in decoding it. With this in mind, he decides to share the sound message with Harper, urging her to publish it online in the hopes that scientists from around the world may be able to decipher its meaning. Meanwhile, in space, when all the crew members are free from that virus, as the crew journeys towards the alien planet Pycanix, they stumble upon another planet with a similar artifact to the one found on Earth. Intrigued by the mystery surrounding these artifacts and their significance, the crew decides to land on this new planet to uncover its secrets. They are determined to understand why these artifacts have been scattered across different planets and what purpose they serve. To aid in their investigation and diplomatic efforts, they awaken Sasha, a diplomat who possesses the skills necessary to establish contact with the artifact. Sasha, being the son of a prominent Earth general, was chosen to lead the human delegation on this mission. After researching the artifact, the crew learns that it landed on planets long before Earth. Now it's weak and breaking apart. They decide to bring back some broken parts to study on their spacecraft. They want to understand what it's made of and what it does. While Sasha examines the artifact alone, something pulls her inside. Later, the crew finds Sasha unconscious outside. They bring her back to the ship in a shuttle. When Sasha wakes up, she starts seeing strange things. It seems like alien life forms are appearing as hallucinations. These aliens start giving Sasha orders. They want her to find out more about the ship's mission and if it could harm their planet. Now, Sasha isn't in control of her own mind. She's completely under the influence of these aliens. As Cass falls ill, the crew decides to awaken another pilot, Beauchamp, from cryosleep to help manage the ship. Meanwhile, Sasha begins questioning Javier about the ship's capabilities and mission. Javier reveals that if the aliens pose a threat, the ship is equipped with advanced nuclear weapons capable of destroying entire planets. This alarming information suggests that humans possess incredibly powerful and potentially dangerous technology. The decoding of the sound responses by Harper's scientists leads to a breakthrough. They can now communicate with the artifact using light signals. When the artifact responds by opening a door, scientists seize the opportunity to send a drone inside to explore. To their astonishment, they discover Sasha inside the artifact, the same Sasha, who had been pulled in by a similar artifact on the distant planet. This raises questions about whether the artifact functions as a portal, allowing individuals to travel between different locations and even across time. Eric, intrigued by this discovery, decides to enter the artifact himself, wearing a radiation suit for protection. Inside, he finds himself transported back in time to when he first met his wife, Nico. Though Eric knows this experience isn't real, he realizes that the artifact can access and manipulate human memories and perceptions. Furthermore, Eric discovers that the artifact holds the solutions to complex equations that had stumped scientists on Earth, providing him with invaluable knowledge and insights. As Eric emerges from the artifact, he recounts the strange occurrences to the general, including Sasha's presence inside. Concerned for his son's safety and unable to establish communication with the ship, the general decides to take drastic action. He orders an attack on the artifact, intent on rescuing Sasha from what he believes to be imprisonment. Despite Eric's warnings against such a reckless move, it's too late. The artifact responds defensively, unleashing a powerful energy beam that strikes Eric's daughter and others nearby. In the chaos, Harper, the reporter, is also pulled into the artifact, just as Sasha was drawn to the alien planet. While on the ship, Sasha, under the influence of the alien entity, becomes determined to destroy the ship upon learning of its capability to threaten the alien's planet. To gain control of the ship, Sasha surreptitiously administers medication to the crew, causing them to become intoxicated and temporarily incapacitated. Meanwhile, William, the AI robot, grapples with existential questions about his purpose and existence, ultimately choosing to shut himself down in distress. With the crew subdued, Sasha assumes full control of the ship. However, as the effects of the medication wear off, the crew becomes aware of Sasha's altered behavior. Upon scanning Sasha's brain, they make a shocking discovery. An alien device has been implanted, effectively hijacking his consciousness and exerting complete control over him. As Sasha locks the crew members in different areas of the ship and disables the cooling system, the crew realizes they must take action to prevent the ship's destruction. With William offline, they are left with no choice but to manually control the cooling system to keep the ship from overheating. Despite their efforts to thwart Sasha's plan, he redirects the ship towards a black hole, intending to destroy it and everyone on board. As the crew learns of Sasha's treachery from the control room, Nico makes a decisive decision. They must abandon ship and escape in the small shuttle to ensure their survival and continue the mission. Quickly, the crew evacuates the ship, leaving Nico behind to connect herself to the hibernation port. By doing so, she hopes to activate the ship's AI and regain control before it's too late. She pleads with AI William to reactivate, highlighting the gravity of their situation and the potential consequences of their actions for millions of people on Earth. Recognizing the validity of Nico's argument, William agrees to reactivate. Meanwhile, outside the ship, Sasha launches a violent attack on Nico, intent on ending her life. In the nick of time, William reactivates and intervenes, incapacitating Sasha and preventing further harm to Nico. With William back in control, he manages to halt the ship's trajectory towards the black hole, averting disaster. The shuttle carrying the rest of the crew safely returns, and order is restored aboard the ship. Back on Earth, Eric and Nico's daughter suffer the consequences of the energy blast from the artifact. Doctors deliver the heartbreaking news that the blast has caused her to develop cancer. Devastated by the news of his daughter's illness, Eric is overcome with grief and anger as he approaches the artifact. Tears streaming down his face. Suddenly, a door of the artifact opens, and to Eric's astonishment, Harper emerges unscathed. However, his relief is short-lived as he realizes that Harper, too, has been implanted with the same neural device as Sasha, indicating that she is now under the control of the aliens. Despite Eric's attempts to question Harper about the aliens and their intentions, Harper cryptically mentions that the aliens express regret for Eric's daughter's condition and suggests that the artifact possesses the ability to cure her. Before Eric can inquire further, he is forcibly expelled. After navigating through numerous dangers, Nico and her crew finally arrive at the alien planet Pycanix. AI William informs them that they are receiving the same signal from this planet as they did from the Earth artifact. Understanding that this planet also belongs to the same enigmatic aliens, Nico decides on a cautious approach. She plans to land quietly with Cass and another pilot, recognizing the uncertainty and potential danger that lies ahead. Aware of the superior strength of the the aliens compared to humans, Nico emphasizes the need for caution. She instructs the crew to be prepared to use the ship's nuclear energy as a last resort if they encounter any threats. For Nico, the safety of humanity is paramount, and they cannot afford to take any risks when dealing with such powerful beings. As Sasha regains control from the alien influence, he reveals the name of the alien race behind the artifacts, the Akaya. With Sasha posing a threat, the crew is forced to take drastic action, ultimately having to neutralize him and remove the alien implant from his brain. They discover that the implant possesses formidable control abilities akin to computer programs, highlighting the extent of the alien's technological prowess in manipulating living beings. Meanwhile, Nico and Cass land on the alien planet guided by the signals received by Earth's artifact. However, they find the planet eerily deserted, devoid of any signs of life. Following the signals, they venture into a cave where they encounter an alien creature with a vastly different body structure from humans. Surprisingly, the creature reacts with fear upon seeing Nico and Cass fleeing from them. As Nico and Cass explore further, they encounter an alien AI that communicates with them in their own language after some initial adjustments. The AI delivers a shocking revelation. The planet they are on is not the home planet of the Akaya aliens, but another planet called Jakar, located 400 light-years away. The signals reaching Earth were from a similar artifact that arrived on our planet 5 years ago. Unfortunately, this artifact brought only destruction. It began wiping out all living beings, leaving only a few survivors who now hide in caves to stay safe. The alien AI explains that wherever these artifacts go, they leave a trail of devastation. It's a grim truth. If one of these artifacts has already reached Earth, it's too late to stop the destruction. The alien race behind these artifacts seeks to rid the universe of all other life forms, ensuring they have control over everything. Hearing the harrowing truth, Nico and Cass are filled with fear as they venture into the ruined city to investigate further. They are met with a scene of utter devastation. No signs of life remain, only piles of bones, remnants of the planet's former inhabitants. Upon closer inspection, they discover that each skeleton bears the same alien implant found in Sasha's brain. It becomes clear that the artifact caused these implants, leading to the inhabitants turning on each other under the aliens' control. Deeply disturbed by what they have witnessed, Nico resolves to return to Earth immediately and reveal the truth to humanity. She knows that they must prepare for the impending conflict with the Akaya aliens. Before departing, Nico revisits the cave and communicates with the alien AI once more. She proposes destroying the artifact planted by the Akaya aliens on the planet, allowing the remaining inhabitants to live free from their influence. The alien agrees, expressing gratitude to humanity for their assistance in freeing them from hardship. With determination, Nico commands the ship to destroy the artifact, sending a powerful message to the Akaya aliens that humanity possesses the strength to defend itself. It's a reminder that even if humans haven't created much else, they excel at creating formidable weapons. Concerned for his daughter's deteriorating condition, Eric secretly visits Harper, seeking her help to save his daughter. In exchange for his assistance, Harper asks for her own freedom. Eric agrees and provides her with his security ID card, allowing her to leave. In return, Harper promises to take Eric's daughter near the artifact, where the Akaya aliens will provide treatment. With Harper's departure, Eric hopes for a chance to save his daughter and confront the looming threat posed by the aliens. Harper, a popular social media reporter, shares a video claiming she's met aliens inside the artifact. She asserts that these aliens have arrived on Earth to aid humanity, promising to eradicate all suffering and hardships. However, unbeknownst to viewers, Harper is being manipulated by the aliens, who seek to gain trust and discourage opposition. This deceptive tactic aims to sway public opinion in favor of the aliens' control over Earth's affairs. Nico and her crew, still in space, prepare to return to Earth when they spot 4 alien ships approaching. However, the ships aren't headed for them. Instead, they land on the same planet where Nico's team had been moments before, the planet where the artifact was destroyed. To their horror, the Akaya aliens proceed to obliterate the entire planet, leaving Nico feeling a profound sense of sorrow for the lost civilization. With the destruction witnessed firsthand, Nico and her crew know they must return to Earth and begin preparations to confront the Akaya threat. The first season of the series concludes. The series leaves audiences hungry for more. Don't miss the upcoming second and final season. Subscribe now to receive notifications and show your support for the series.